You're listening to Wealthy-esque. We are a community of lawyers who believe that true wealth is having control of our time. I'm Ro Thomas, and as a busy wife, mom, and former Big Law associate, I know all too well the tension between the culture of the legal profession and pretty much everything else you want to do in life. That's why each week I'm bringing you the information and tools you need to improve your money mindset and manage your money to create true wealth. Because ultimately, it's not about the money. It's about the freedom and flexibility the money affords. Hey friend, welcome back to the show. I hope you're doing well and having an amazing day so far. Today, we are talking about seeking security in your financial situation versus seeking security inside yourself. I was pulling together some coaching for the April Money Reset. If you are not aware, that is a pop-up Facebook group I'm doing for the month of April where I am helping lawyers get their finances on track. So head to rothomas.com/reset if you haven't joined us there yet. But we're talking about saving, and so I pulled coaching related to saving for our Monday call. And one of the examples that I pulled was a client who had a goal of increasing her emergency fund. So when we first started working together, this client thought her emergency fund was at $22,000, and she set a goal to increase that to $30,000. So that was, one of the goals that she set for our coaching relationship. And when she actually got into her finances and looked at the numbers, she realized that she actually had $14,000 in savings rather than the $22,000 that she thought. She ended our first month working together with a $9,000 surplus in her budget. And after seeing her savings account balance, she put all of that money into her savings account to bring it back to the $22,000 level she thought it was at before. It was about $23,000, but to bring it back up to, that $22,000 level, quote, for security. And she told me about what she had done in our next session, and her choice of language there, the security part, really caught my ear because she was thinking that having a particular savings account balance is what would bring her security. And I told her to notice that she was looking for security in her savings account balance versus creating that security within herself. I told her that this looked like the thought it's not enough playing out again, which she and I had discussed before in a different area of her finances. And that thought actually comes up a lot for my clients. So if you go back to episode 79, I talk about it more. But she thought that adding the $9,000 to her savings account balance would make her feel more secure. And I told her that having $23,000 in savings would not make her feel more secure. And the reason we know that is because she thought she had $22,000 already. And when she thought she was at $22,000, she was saying it wasn't enough and she wanted to increase it to $30,000. Until she addressed that thought that it's not enough, no amount of savings, whether it's the $22,000, the $30,000, $100,000, would make her feel secure. If she continues to think it's not enough, she will continue to feel insecure and it will come up with whatever bank account balance she has. She had never determined what enough was as far as her savings goes. And when we explored what enough would be for her, she decided that $20,000 would actually be more than enough based on her situation, her expenses, all of that kind of stuff. So now that she had defined what enough was for her, she realized that she had more than that amount in her savings account. She had an extra $3,000 or so in her savings account that she then decided to put towards some of her student loan debt. So she feels secure with $10,000 less than her original $30,000 goal, the $30,000 she thought she needed in her savings account. But the only thing that has changed is the way she's thinking about her account. Rather than constantly telling herself she doesn't have enough in savings, she decided what enough was, right? She decided that this is the right amount for her. Another place I see this come up a lot is with income. So you may think, if I just made a little bit more money, then things would be better, or I would feel more secure, or whatever it is. But you've likely been running that same thought since you started your career. I told you before about the client who was making $100,000 more at this stage that we're working together than she was making when she first started her career. I talked about it back in episode 79, so go check that one out. But she was still telling herself that it wasn't enough and she needed to make more. And when we explored it, she realized that back when she first started out, she always thought that if she made more money, it would be more than enough. And now here she was making $100,000 more and still telling herself it's not enough and still telling herself she needs to make more. We do this a lot where we look to things outside of ourselves to try to feel a certain way, whether that's secure or sufficient or whatever the emotion is for you. But we have to recognize that that is always our work, right? You can't delegate it to the bank account or the income or the debt or whatever. These are really good examples of the fact that none of that, right? Your bank account, income, nothing in your financial situation will create the feelings of security or sufficiency or any other emotion that you want to feel. It's the same reason why some people make modest salaries and feel 100% secure and at peace with their finances, and others make 6 or 7 figures and always feel stressed and anxious and like the bottom is always about to fall out. If you don't create that security for yourself with your current finances, you're not going to have it when your circumstances change. The same thoughts are still going to be running and you'll still feel the same way. Making $100,000 more and still thinking you need to be making more money, or having the bank account balance that you want and thinking just a little bit more would make you feel a little better. It's up to you to do that work to determine how you want to think about your finances and how you want to approach them. So do you want to think about your finances in terms of never having enough and always struggling and always needing more? Or do you want to think about them in terms of having exactly what you need, having enough, or whatever thought makes you feel more secure or, whatever, and then deciding from that place of security what you want to do? Because it's a very different energy saving because you want to versus saving because you think you need to save more to be secure. If you can't feel secure with what you have now, with where you are now, you're not going to feel it when you have whatever you're envisioning for your finances in the future. It will never feel like enough. You'll always be chasing after more. So it's doing that work to decide, okay, what is enough for me, right? How do I want to think about my finances? How will I feel more secure? And then practicing thinking about approaching your finances in that way. And as you do, you'll start to feel more secure with your finances, even if your bank account, your income, whatever other financial circumstances never change. But of course, as you do that work, as you lean into the way you want to think, and that will help you feel more secure, then you will naturally start to improve your financial circumstances as well. So that's the beauty of addressing your money mindset rather than only focusing on numbers and strategy. And it's exactly the kind of work I do with my clients. So if you are ready to change the way you think about money, to feel better about your money and improve your finances for good, head to rothomas.com/call and let's schedule a consultation. All right, so that's it for this week's episode. Come join me over on social media, Ro Thomas on LinkedIn and at I am Ro Thomas on Instagram. Subscribe to the show and leave a rating and review. All of that helps more people to find the show. And of course, sharing with a friend would help more people to find us as well. As we close out, friend, I pray that you seriously consider where you're outsourcing your security or sufficiency or peace to external factors. I pray that you do the work to cultivate those emotions you want to feel inside yourself and stop looking to outside things to make you feel any particular way. And as always, I pray that you continue to take steps to regain control of your time, build wealth, and live the life of freedom and choice you deserve. Talk to you later.